Okay, hang on. Just gotta figure this out. Okay. Hey guys, this is a little bit of a sudden video. I wasn't really expecting to make it, so I have absolutely no time to edit it, so I apologize in advance for the lack of editing. This is just gonna be a straight shot video. But it's something that I felt worth talking about, especially since I'm going to be doing a bigger update video pretty soon in the next 2 months or so. I'm going to be doing like another one of these fast video updates to let you know stuff that's going on, because some big stuff's going on. I mean, just, you know, in my life, so that are, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, you guys don't care about that right now. This video is about, for those of you who don't know, I had a webcomic that I started in 2012 called Zoophobia. And a good number of my audience or fan base or whatever discovered me through that webcomic. A lot of you guys might not have heard of it because you came from, you saw Die Young first, and maybe discovered Zoophobia after or whatever, but some of you might not know what it is. I had a webcomic, that's what it is. And that's what this video is about. So if you have no idea what Zoophobia is, you can go ahead and ignore this. This is for the people who are wondering what's up with Zoophobia and, you know, what the deal is, because I did make a post on Tumblr about the comic and what the deal is right now, but I figured I still get like daily messages, like daily, about the comic, so I figured a video might be a little bit easier to share, a little bit wider audience, so this is why I'm making this, and apologies for it getting long because I already am rambling. But basically, there's no other way to say it. For those of you asking if the webcomic is continuing, as of right now, no, I'm not continuing the comic. And before you get really, really mad or upset or whatever, it is in by no means dead. It's not dead. It is just, I'm not continuing the current version of the comic. And I get a lot of asks why. And I did answer in the Tumblr post, but I'll just completely go over it. I love Zoophobia a lot. Zoophobia is the first comic that I ever started to, I didn't complete it. It's not completed by any means necessary, but it's the first comic that I ever finished chapters, and it was so exciting for me. And it's my first big story, and you know, some of my characters, the first characters I ever created, are in Zoophobia, and I still love the story. I still have a lot of faith in it. But the thing about it that people need to understand is that I jumped into that comic. I completely leapt headfirst. I'd never done a finished comic prior. I'd never done anything, and I was developing the story for so long, but even though I was in college when it started, I started it in my sophomore year of college, so 2012, while I was at SVA, and I wasn't ready to start a comic. But at the same time, you learn so much by starting a comic, so I don't regret starting it. I'm so happy I started it. I'm so happy it got a fan base. I'm so happy that you guys got to experience those characters, even if it wasn't for that long, because I think I only got nearish the end of book 1 of a 10-book series. And trust me, I understand that people are upset that it's not continuing, and I'm there with you, but my reasons why are mainly that I stopped enjoying the comic, and it's such a meaningful story to me that I had two options. I had the option of letting it become a chore that I hated to work on and I couldn't stand looking at, and I felt constant pressure for, and I would start to resent, and it would be miserable, and the comic would suffer for that. Like the quality, everything would suffer. Or I could scrap it before it gets too far in and redo it. And that's what I'm doing. For those of you who don't know, I'm rebooting the entire thing, which a reboot is a reimagination, a restart, basically. And a lot of people think, at least I see a lot of people comment like, oh, well, she wants to update the art. No, if it was just the art that I wanted to update, I would just keep continuing what's already there, because most comics start looking like one thing and they kind of end completely different, because as you work on it, you get better. And that was already the case for Zoophobia. Like, it was already getting, the quality was getting better, in my opinion. Not everybody agrees with that, but in my opinion, it was getting better visually, because I was trying to do more things and I was learning a lot. But in terms of the actual narrative, you know, I jumped in. I didn't script things out. I probably could have run it by more people. I did run the first arc through a bunch of people because it was the start, but after that, I kind of dropped the ball there. And, you know, the way I wrote the comic, I don't know if I have the notebook here. I have the notebook somewhere, basically. Ugh. Alright, maybe not. I wasn't prepared. I have a notepad like this big, and I literally draw out the, I would draw out the pages in this notepad, and I'd lay it. That's how I knew the flow of the story, because the thing about me is I operate a little bit more with animation in mind, so I feel like comics were harder for me because I didn't really expand with the layout. Like, I kind of told it as a storyboard, which didn't flow very well, and the way the writing went, it went very like an animation, so I don't think it was very suited for comic form the way I did it. I think that it was, I can't look at pages without going, oh my gosh, this page could be so much more dynamic, this page could be better told. I could tell more information in less pages if I actually scripted it out first and planned it out better, and then went back and did it the way I did it, because even like later pages, I had somebody take what I had and reformat it to tell more in one page than I did in previous pages on my own. So I think when I do reboot the comic, I'm going to have more sets of eyes coming in and helping with the layout, and with probably with backgrounds and just everything, composition, everything that I'm not as skilled in, to make it even better. Because my goal for Zoophobia, for everybody watching this, my goal for Zoophobia is to, when I do reboot it, is to make it a sole focus, you know, entirely, you know, dedicate a huge chunk of time just to doing the entirety of a chapter or entirety of a book, and either releasing, I think my plan is to release it like chapters, maybe in e-form, like in internet PDF form, and then compile everything into a published book, like physically published, and just do it that way, because I've always wanted something in print, and I think it's just better. I don't even know if the webcomic format works for this story. So, you know, like, I have things in my mind for it, and it's not dead, but see, the thing is, it's such a big undertaking of a story, and I'm not ready to tell it. I'm not interested in it right now. I still love the characters, and that's why you guys will see them. I try and do as many illustrations, like, kind of as concept art, to like reimagine scenes and reimagine scenarios and settings, and maybe do more scenes, concept art for scenes that I had originally envisioned, and rethink, you know, how the first book is going to go, because a lot of stuff is going to stay. A lot of the old stuff is similar to what's going to be in the new one. I want, even like, before you guys get like super mad, like, no, it was good the way it was, there's things about it I still like, and there's things about it that are going to stay. They're just going to be better told. Stories, the same stories might be told, they're just going to be in different orders, and they're going to be in different places, and they're going to be differently told, but to a better extent. You know, more solid writing. I'm really gonna put more effort into that because I really wasn't. Like, everything was very improvised because you know, I drew it. I kind of drew out the comic as I went, and that's why it had a very improvisational feel, which I felt, I thought it was natural, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it wasn't as strong, I think. So I'm gonna put more effort into that and everything, and into the art and the layout and everything. So when it comes back, I want it to be a big deal. I'm gonna be focusing on it entirely. It'll be, you know, I'll release it in these big chunks, and it'll just be better. But I know that a lot of you guys are like, well, when is it gonna happen? You know, when? Not for a while. That's the sad part. I feel absolutely no desire to work on the actual narrative of Zoophobia, because another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write it out first, the entire thing, so I know exactly what to do, I know what Easter eggs to drop, I know everything, because that's another thing, I didn't have it all written down, because I'm an idiot and I don't do that. You know, like, the comic was so experimental, and I'm so thankful I did it because I learned so much from it, and I love that I'm over the moon that you guys love the characters. But, you know, to do that story justice, to really do it justice the way I envision it, the version that is out there, it just isn't. It was a test run, basically, and I want to do a real thing, and I think that it's like my first story ever, and it's such a personal thing that it would be a good thing to return to in many years when I'm like way more skilled than I am now, which is why I'm moving my focus on other things like Has Been Hotel and Timber, and this film I'm working on, update, it's not Allison anymore. I'm shelving Allison because that film was about depression and it was killing me to write, so I'm doing another film that's going to be much more upbeat. And actually, if you guys like Zoophobia, you're gonna like this new film that I want to do even more. And no, like, for some reason people thought that Allison was already like being worked on and funded. No, like, Allison literally has just been in development hell for like a while. But this new film is moving a lot faster because it's easier to work with, because it's much more positive. It's not as difficult to write. But anyway, that's update stuff. As far as Zoophobia goes, again, like, this video is getting so long, and I'm so sorry. I ramble a lot, and I have I have like ADD that goes everywhere, so like, that's another reason I have so many projects. I have so much going on in my brain at all times. But as far as Zoophobia, it's definitely not dead, so don't worry. If you love Zoophobia, you will still see Zoophobia characters around. I was thinking about doing maybe if I ever get the time between animated projects, which, yes, I'm working on them a lot. They just take it takes a lot longer to do original projects if you want to do them well. If you don't want to just you know, throw something out there that's gonna suck. I'm trying to put a lot more effort into what I do, not just improvise everything and do it you know, off the handle, because I feel like the quality suffers when I do that. So I'm trying to like really put a lot more time and effort into everything original, which is why, like, these projects that I'm working on right now, Has Been, Timber, like, all this stuff, if you like Zoophobia, you'll like them. I mean, that's another thing. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, Zoophobia is the only reason I like you. If you don't continue it, then you're not doing your job and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, first of all, Zoophobia was never my job. It never really made enough that it was my job, and that's another reason why I'm not continuing it. But not to say that, like, you know, that's a big deal, but, you know, it was never something that was really super successful, weirdly enough, until later. until like near the end of when I was just dying working on it. But you know, in the beginning, it was all just passion. And I think that's why people liked it, was because in the beginning, it was like, every single thing I put into it was just love. I put entire, you know, it might not have been the best comic ever, but I loved it. And I loved working on it. And I think that shows in the beginning. But see, that's the thing. I don't feel that anymore. And I feel that for other projects. So I want to put my effort into where my heart is, because that's what people are going to enjoy. And that's what I'm going to enjoy. And I don't owe it to I mean, ultimately, I don't owe it to anyone to continue a comic just because they like it. And a lot of people who attack me for not continuing Zoophobia, you know, who are fans, who love it and are mad that I'm not continuing it, you know, I have to remind myself that just as many of you guys who love it just as much, if not more than these people, understand why I'm not continuing it as it is. And I'm hoping that you guys can wait until, you know, it happens again, because, you know, I hope that it'll live up to your expectations. I think it will, because I'll be able to actually put a lot more effort into it. But I mean, even if not, new people will find it, and maybe someday, you know, when I'm working on it, when it's out and you guys have forgotten about it for a long time, you can look back and go, oh hey, I used to read that comic, I guess it's back, and then read it and it'll be a lot better, and you'll be like, oh shit, this was worth waiting for. So that's my goal. My goal is, you know, I can't give an answer for when it's gonna come back, because the truth is, I want to do these other things first. Once these other things are done, the film, has-been pilot, I might even do a has-been comic. I mean, has-been's where my energy is now, and honestly, in every sense of the word, has-been is a spiritual successor to Zoophobia. So, and it's better because I came up with it later in life. Not to say Zoophobia isn't, you know, I mean, like, a lot of people really liked Zoophobia for what it was, but like, if you like Zoophobia, you'll like has-been, I wanna think, because it's in the same vein, and it's kind of the same feel, and it's kind of some recycled stuff from, you know, originally a lot of the characters that are has-been characters were in Zoophobia in one draft. So, you know, I'm hoping that you guys can just enjoy what I'm working on, and the other projects that I'm doing and stuff. And I'm genuinely sorry for everybody who loves Zoophobia and are like really waiting for it to come back. Like, I'm truly sorry, because I know how that feels to like really love something and be told, oh no, it's gone, it's never coming back. And that's the one thing, and I can tell you, it will come back 100%. I love Zoophobia. I stopped the comic so I could save it, because if I had continued and started to hate it, then it would have been really over. So I stopped it before that was the case. And it's early enough into the story that I mean, once I restart it, the way I plan on restarting it, I think I'll tell the first book a lot faster. And then the first book will be done. And then the better stuff happens. Because trust me, there was much better stuff happening. And I'm really glad I didn't get into that, because then it would be really hard to end it. I'm rebooting it before any of the narrative started. Like, literally, we were just in the introduction arc, and it was a lot of filler. It was a filler to get to know these characters. Yeah, trust me, the actual narrative that I was proud of writing didn't even start. So it'll come back, because I have those stories in me. I want to tell them, and I want to share them with you guys who love my characters and stuff. And in the meantime, they're not dead. I want to keep doing art of them to show you guys that they're still on my mind. But it's a lot better to have a leisurely time, like have Zoophobia be like my, oh, stuff is stressing me out, I'm gonna think about these characters and develop their story more to be even better in my leisurely time, So it's not at all a stress, and that's the best way to put passion into something for me. And I really am working hard to make these other projects a thing soon. Like Has Been is going to be one of my biggest goals for the rest of the year. Just the pilot, at least getting it started, getting it like into animation is my goal. And my goal is also to do the Kickstarter for this animated film, because it's going to need a big budget, because the difference between that one and the Has Been pilot is that the Has Been pilot is something I could do all on my own, and it doesn't need a big budget, because it's just going to be me and some friends and some online talent doing the voices and stuff. But the film is different because it's like 3 times the length. And I have big, you know, like I said in my Patreon video, I have big Broadway talent and stuff, and they're part of the union, and there's union fees, and there's recording fees, and there's all this stuff that, you know, goes into it. So, but hopefully I'll go over that more in an update video. But yeah, this video got way too long, and I'm really sorry because I can't edit it. I don't have time at all. Like, trust me, I would if I could, but I don't have time. I'm doing so much right now. And I'll make another update video soon about like what's going on and why everything's so hectic right now. But I felt compelled to make this because I've been seeing a lot more comments about Zoophobia, and you know, I wanted to make a video to kind of clear it up as best I could. And I hope I did. I really hope I did, because I can't even remember. My brain is just going like crazy right now. Maybe I'll make a better video about Zoophobia in the future, but I just wanted to get this out there as a big information dump to you guys who are fans of Zoophobia. And thank you. Thank you for being fans of Zoophobia, because Zoophobia is kind of always gonna be my original, you know, start, even before Die Young. And it means a little bit more to me than Die Young, because you know, Zoophobia was what got me through my early life, and so many of my friends I met through Zoophobia. So getting emotional. I love the comic, and trust me, I would not be discontinuing it if not for genuine reasons. I want to improve the comic for you guys, for myself, to do those characters justice. I want to enjoy it again. I want the passion back. I want, you know, and I think it's a better idea to start it later in life and make it my big, you know, epic story, because it's the longest story I have too. Has Been's a lot shorter, Timber's a lot shorter, and that's nice for me right now, because thinking about too much, too epic. I mean, even Has Been's like trying to get up there, and I'm like, no, stay low. But again, like, I'm thinking about doing a Has Been comic to coincide with a potential animated thing. And no promises, but like, you know, it would be a return to that, I guess. And but yeah, like, to those of you meanies though who are very, very bitter about the comic ending and are mad at me for, you know, not caring about the viewership and stuff, like, I care about you guys reading the comic. I cared a lot. I mean, you guys were the reason at one point that I was continuing it at all, but I don't want the reason to work on the comic to be for other people, because even though, like, I'm really happy to share it with you guys, and I'm so happy that it meant stuff to you and it helped you and everything, like, trust me, it was helping me too, but it started to become a detriment to me, and I started to feel like it was being taken away from me. There was a lot of a very toxic portion of people who liked the comic, and that was very damaging to me ultimately, because I started to resent things about the comic. And I think when I bring it back, that's another reason why I want to do it in these chunks, and I might do it in public or physical format, because I don't really want to feel that again. I don't want to feel like my comic is kind of being taken away from me. And it was, I mean, I know it wasn't. When you put something out there, it's out there. It's not yours anymore. But in a way, you know, these comics that people create, they come from us directly. You know, it's not like a show or a movie where there's a ton of people working on it. Comics are much more personal. And when it feels like something is being ruined, or not ruined, but you know, like people are coming in and they're like tearing it apart and they're changing your perception of it, it gets a lot harder to view it the same. And that's what happened for me. I stopped seeing what I loved about the comic, and I started seeing all these negatives, and it's not even because, oh, like haters hated on it. It's that I'm capable of seeing my flaws to an extreme extent, and I just saw nothing but the bad. And I saw like, wow, I wasn't ready for a comic. I jumped in too early, and but I'm glad I did. I mean, I wouldn't take it back for anything, because I think without starting that comic, my art would not be where it is now. So I'm so thankful for I'm so thankful I started Zoophobia. I'm so thankful for you guys reading it. You know, you helped me get where I am now, and trust me, for the millionth time, it's not dead. Still love it. That's why I post things like the art and speed draws and prints and stuff. It's because, you know, the comic's not dead. It's still on my mind from time to time, and I still love the characters. I still love the story. I'm gonna bring it back someday. When, I don't know. I can't answer. Not soon. I would say 2 years at the least, because it's gonna take a year to do a has-been pilot. It's gonna take more than a year to do the film, but if I can get it started in a year, then I can focus on other things. But again, I want to make Zoophobia the only focus, and if I'm doing all these big projects, it won't be. But I can promise that there is gonna be stuff in its place. There's gonna be lots and lots of content in Zoophobia's place, and a lot of that is these speed draws that I managed to share with you guys, because the speed draws, not only do they help me afloat monetarily and they're for Patreon, but they're all concept art. They're all stuff for all these other projects I'm working on. So they serve a purpose. They aren't just wastes of time. All the prints I do serve a purpose. So like, that's why they are what they are. That's why you might see a character you've never seen before, or a scene you've never seen before. It's literally because it is concept art. This is art, me testing out characters, testing out how they look and stuff. That's why I think that they're kind of fun, because you're seeing glimpses into my process, basically, in the form of these illustrations. So anyway, I hope this isn't too long. I don't know how long it is at this point. I think it's, holy shit, is it 28 minutes? Oh my god. Oh shit. This is like half an hour of me rambling, so I'm so sorry if you watched the whole thing. Oh god, I wish I could edit this. I'm sorry. I would make another one, but I know it's just gonna get as long because I'm gonna feel like I missed a bunch of information. But anyway, so if you hung in for this half an hour of me rambling about Zoophobia and other things because I can't ever concentrate, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. There's gonna be a ton more speed draws coming, and another video like this where I ramble for an hour and a half about what's going on in my life pretty soon, and because it's big. And then I also have a bunch of vlogs from this past year, basically the whole year. Every cool thing that happened to me this whole year, I have recorded and ready to edit, but I don't even have time to edit it because I've been so busy working. But hopefully I'll get that out for you guys soon, because I really want to start filming more of this year and getting vlogs out regularly. So yeah. thank you so much for this, for watching this, if you kept up with it, and thank you so much for watching. It cut me off because it took too long. But yes, thank you guys so much for everything, for watching, for liking, for just everything. It means a lot. It helps me continue to make these really big projects and or develop these really big projects that will be rolling soon. It's just, you know, it's kind of unreal for me sometimes that, like, how things are right now, and it's all thanks to you guys and the support you give me. So thank you so much, and thank you for loving Zoophobia as much as me. It really means a lot, and it'll be back someday. Thank you.